Of all 6 transfer pricing methods, one shows up in more transfer pricing studies than any other. It is called the Transactional Net Margin Method, TNMM, and in the United States it goes by a different name entirely. The Comparable Profits Method, or CPM, same method, 2 labels, depending on which side of the border you are standing on. In this section, we will look at what TNMM and CPM actually measure, how you decide which entity in the transaction gets tested, and how a group of comparable companies defines the range your numbers need to land inside. TNMM and CPM measure the net profit margin, operating profit expressed as a share of revenues, costs, or assets. That net margin belongs to what is called the tested party. Once you have it, you compare it to the margins earned by comparable independent companies doing similar work under similar conditions. So which entity in the transaction actually gets tested? Almost always, it is the simpler, less unique side of the deal, the distributor, the contract manufacturer, or the service provider. The entity holding the valuable intellectual property, or carrying the key risk-bearing functions, is deliberately left out of the benchmarking. Its profitability is not tested directly. Instead, the tested party's margin is benchmarked, and whatever profit is left over, the residual, flows to the entity that holds the valuable intangibles. Once the tested party is chosen, a TNMM study typically identifies somewhere between 10 and 30 comparable independent companies and calculates each one's operating profit margin. The arm's length range is not the full spread of those margins. It is the interquartile range, IQR for short, running from the 25th percentile up to the 75th percentile of that comparable set. The tested party's own margin should land somewhere inside that band. Here is how this plays out with real numbers. A set of comparable companies shows operating margins ranging from 2% up to 18%, with a median of 9% and an interquartile range running from 5% to 13%. The tested party, though, reports an actual operating margin of only 3%. Is that inside the arm's length range? No. 3% sits below the 25th percentile of 5%. So it falls outside the interquartile range entirely and calls for either an adjustment or a documented explanation. Everything about TNMM and CPM comes back to this one line. The interquartile range is not a suggestion. It is the working definition of arm's length for this method, and a tested party that lands outside it has some explaining or some adjusting to do. So what actually happens when the tested party lands below the range, the way it did in our example? The fix is not to throw out the analysis. It is to bring the tested party's income up to at least the 25th percentile, either by increasing the income booked to the tested party directly, or by lowering the transfer prices charged to it by the related entity, so its margin rises to at least that floor of the arm's length range. Let's bring it together. TNMM, called CPM in the United States, is the most widely used transfer pricing method globally, measuring net operating profit margin rather than gross margin or price. The tested party is the simpler entity, the one without the unique intellectual property or the key risk-bearing functions, and its margin gets compared to a set of 10 to 30 comparable independent companies. The arm's length range is the interquartile range of those comparables, the 25th to the 75th percentile, and a tested party margin that falls outside that band, like our example at 3% against a floor of 5%, needs an adjustment to bring it back inside. Next, we will look at the profit split method and the best method rule for choosing among all 6 approaches.